because there might be people just like you who are wondering who we are. So share with me.
What? Oh, who? Oh, who? Oh, who? I am. Okay.
No, share with me what you thought.
Oh,
How you accidentally bumped in.
yes. So we came here and looking. We were looking for actually a Malcolm X T-shirt here because there's a concert
course you
we're going
did.
to. We're going to a concert this weekend, and
Yes.
they weren't open when they were supposed to be. And your host very kindly
Yes.
invited us to come have a
It's
seat.
not accessible.
Yeah.
And so I was in pain,
Yeah.
and he invited us to come in and have a seat.
Yeah.
See?
Yes.
You know what that is? It's called no coincidence in life.
That's right.
I have proven that in my 65 countries that I visited over and over again. When I was in danger, when I was in trouble, always it got resolved because there was no such thing as a coincidence. And you're at the right time at the right place. Vancouver. We need a Unity Museum in
I was
Vancouver.
gonna say we do. I mean, like I said, you will see when we have continue our conversation.
Yes.
There is so anyway, I did not expect this at all.
Of course
and,
not.
And like let's just say that everything that you have here on this wall is
Yes.
basically what I've devoted my life to.
Yeah.
So that's what I do for a living is to make sure that these voices and their
heard.
children will continue to be
It
heard
is the
forever.
absolute first voice.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And if we don't respect that,
Yes, exactly.
There's nowhere else for us to go.
there's nothing else that matters, right? And I lived in Hawaii for 30 years, and I worked there with a Native community there too. Even though I had my social service agency during that time, but in Hawaii we know we have to respect our Hawaiians. And so, and here in Seattle, same thing, no difference. And look at the bank, sitting on top of their frog pond, their fishing hole. What went wrong?
Yes.
How did it come to that? Why did they have to leave their place? Why do we have to have a fancy shopping mall on top of where they lived, right?
Because it's interesting you should ask that question because just this morning while I was watching, because right now my sister and I were actively working with Inupiaq on the western slope of Alaska, and they're dealing. We're trying to make sure they can have drinking water that they want
Yes.
to drink, and anyway, one of the elders sent me a video, and I'll share it with you, but it was a now deceased elder who was dancing to their music. And I posted it up on Facebook because I said, how can the heart not see this? And what occurred to me though is that we don't see,
Yes.
because if you see it, you couldn't do what you did.
Now you will be happy to hear that our Buffalo, New York Unity Museum, it's a traveling museum, was there I think for MLK Day, and some of the chiefs and elders from a reservation came down and said, would you mind bringing an exhibit about native reservation water rights? And that's what they're working on right now. So we need to be where we have to respect human rights.
That's right.
Remember, we're all about human rights.
That's right.
And several of our directors are now certified human rights consultants because we need to be where the voices are heard, where we can go out and where we can collaborate.
That's right. That's exactly it.
And the Unity Museum, that is all what we stand for. It's really human rights. And our primary focus is number one is race and climate, but right along with that is gender. Because we need to give women their rightful place.
Well, we are, so humus, right? The soil. We are human of the soil. Like every First Nation, that's what, I love Te Reo from Aotearoa basically. And Te Roa, the language, Whaere Whaka, all of that means our bones are the earth. And so to be human is to be of the earth.
That's it.
So it's our rehumaning in many ways, and these people can help us do that.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
and so everything we're talking about, all the isms, all the whatever,
Yes.
these are blocks that get in the way
Yes.
of the humor.
The hurdles, and we and you know what I happen to believe that science and religion must go hand in hand. Because if you have an unknowable essence we call God, whatever spirit you want to call it, right? That spirit, when the initiation of the formation of the multiple universes came about, Carl saying that we're just a collection of stardust. And in a way, ultimately, that is what we are. You know, if you ultimately look at our evolutionary process.
All I can say is that
So, what's your first name?
Lois.
Louis. I'm
Yes.
Sabina.
Sabina, nice to meet you.
I'm Maria.
Maria, and you're both sisters.
Yes.
Born in
Barbados.
Barbados. See, I lived in Dr. Braithwaite is from
Yes.
is from
I was going to
Barbados.
say that last name is
And he's a
right.
friend of mine, personal friend of mine, and he
Okay.
has a clinic in Miami.
Okay.
And so, and he happens to be a Baha'i too. And anyway, I lived in Fort Lauderdale for 11 years.
Okay.
So the islanders, right?
Yes.
Remember, I came from Hawaii, islander, going to Fort the Islanders,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I felt so right at home
Yeah.
because I feel that ultimately, even though I'm born in Germany, right? But I feel my heart, the culture of the islanders, is really my who I am. And then we have to look at the powers, global powers, to suppress our island culture, like in Hawaii, you know, where and I don't want to go into the sadness of it all.
Yeah.
And look at Chief Seattle and Angelina, his daughter, right?
Yeah.
So we have a booth dedicated to her. You're going to enjoy that.
Okay.
But we have to stand for the right thing
Yes.
and do it the best of our capacity. And there's nothing like a Unity Museum
Yeah.
that can, it's for education.
But I love this concept. Like I just the whole concept of it, because you're so right. Like this idea of having a place where one, you know, you're safe, but one, it's like, but this is about affirming what is.
Yes.
And it's a place like, because especially in America right now, it's not safe actually.
No.
To be someone who says, actually no, I'm one with everything else here.
Yeah,
You know.
yes.
It's all about division because right. So.
It's not about me, it's about us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And us as a species, us as a Baha'i, I always say, that's the founder of the Bible, is that the earth is but one country, and all of mankind its citizens. And God created us this spirit of oneness. And I don't know how we ever got to a place where we're the kind of conversations we're having. It's inhumane, and let us hope that through little thing like a museum that believes in the oneness of humanity,
That's right.
that we can at least engage in conversations.
That's right. That's right. Well, this is wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you.
And we will try to we'll figure it out. But we definitely now we know where you are.
Now you know where we
And,
are.
And